So in the today's class, we'll briefly discuss about the AC circuit containing resistance, capacitance, and inductance in series. Okay, if these three electronic components are connected in series with the alternating current source, that is AC source, how does the current and voltage are related to one another? So that we will discuss in the today's class. And this circuit is called as series RLC resonance circuit, or it is simply called as series resonance circuit. Okay. So this circuit consists of a resistor of resistance R, a capacitor of capacitance C, and inductor of inductance L, which are connected in series with the AC voltage source of V equal to V naught sin omega t, or it is V naught into e to the power j omega t in terms of complex number representation. This is the circuit which is containing resistance, inductance, and a capacitance. They are connected in series, and it is connected to the voltage source. And voltage of that voltage source is V naught into e to the power j omega t. This is AC source, and this is represented in complex number representation. E to the power j omega t represents the complex number representation of alternating current. Then the inductive reactance XL. If you find out the resistance of each and every component in the circuit, the resistance of the resistor is R. The inductive reactance of the inductor is given by XL, or it is equal to omega L. The capacitive reactance is 1 by omega C, or it is represented as XC. And we know that the inductive reactance is having the phase difference of 90 degree with resistance. And again, the capacitive reactance also has phase difference of 90 degree with the resistance. What happens? This XL introduces plus pi by 2 phase difference. The inductive reactance will lead the resistance by plus pi by 2, whereas the capacitive reactance lag behind the resistance by pi by 2. So it says that inductive reactance XL introduces phase difference of plus pi by 2, and capacitive reactance XC introduces phase difference of minus pi by 2 with respect to the resistance R. So if you represent the resistance along the real axis, then XL will be positive imaginary axis and XC will be negative imaginary axis. That is how you can represent that in phasor diagram. Therefore, the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance can be represented using J operator. So J represents the pi by 2 phase difference. Plus J means plus pi by 2 phase difference. Minus J means minus pi by 2 phase difference. So therefore, in this circuit, what are the resistances of these three components individually? So resistance is R, and inductive reactance is given by plus j omega L. Why plus j is introduced here? Because plus j represents plus pi by 2 phase difference with respect to R. Omega L is the inductive reactance. And capacitive reactance represented in J operator method is minus J into 1 by omega C. Why minus J is introduced here? Because minus J represents minus pi by 2 phase difference with respect to the capacitive reactance here, with respect to resistance here. Then what is the total resistance of the circuit? That is sum of all these three, R plus J omega L minus J into 1 by omega C. Therefore, you can find out the expression for current using simple Ohm's law, or you can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law also. So simple Ohm's law says V equal to IR. What is the voltage applied? It is V naught into e to the power j omega t, I into total resistance. So that is the simple equation. And finally, we have to find the expression for current in the circuit. So apply KVL to this particular circuit. This simply gives you V equal to IR. So V equal to I into total resistance of the circuit. That is I into R plus j omega L minus J into 1 by omega C. Okay. What is V? Substitute here. So V is given by V naught into e to the power j omega t, that is voltage represented in complex number representation, equal to I into total resistance. And here J is taken as a common factor. You will get I into R plus J into omega L minus 1 by omega C. J is taken as a common factor. This is the total resistance of the circuit. Therefore, this current I will be equal to, and here I is called as the instantaneous current through the circuit, current at any time t. What is the expression for I? I will be equal to V by total resistance. What is V? V is V naught into e to the power j omega t divided by R plus j into omega L minus 1 by omega C. That is the expression for current in the circuit. So finally, we have to express this current in terms of the complex number representation. Okay, for that we have to solve this equation by considering this complex number in the denominator. This is a complex number. It is of the form x plus jy, okay, or it is alpha plus j beta. Now we have to solve this equation. So simple method to solve the complex number in the denominator is done by multiplying the complex conjugate of the number and divided by the complex conjugate. Same method we will use. So further, we can express this equation as this particular form. What we will do, we'll multiply the equation by complex conjugate of this denominator and also we'll divide it by complex conjugate of this denominator. Why it is done? Because we will get the equation of the form a plus b into a minus b in the denominator. So what do you mean by complex conjugate? Just you have to replace the plus sign by minus sign of the complex number, then that is called as complex conjugate. So what is the complex conjugate of this term? It is R minus j into omega L minus 1 by omega C. Multiply by that complex conjugate divided by same complex conjugate. This is nothing but multiplying it by 1. So this to get cancelled, but the simplification gives you very important result now. So in the denominator, it is of the form a plus b into a minus b. What is j here? J is the complex number, that is square root of minus 1. So a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So therefore, the denominator, if you take this particular term only, the denominator becomes r square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. Even though you are getting a square plus, sorry, a plus a square minus b square, this j square introduces one more minus 1 there, because j square is minus 1. That's why you will get the plus sign here. You will get r square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square in the denominator. In the numerator, you will get r minus j into omega L minus 1 by omega C. Remember, we have considered only this term. We have not considered the voltage term. We'll solve this term to get the final result. So this can be represented as some alpha minus j beta. So this is represented as alpha minus j beta. What is alpha? Alpha is r divided by this denominator. Beta is this omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by denominator. It is alpha plus, sorry, minus some j beta. What is alpha here? Alpha is given by r divided by r square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square, and beta is given by omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by r square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. Now we have represented this term in terms of alpha minus j beta, and we'll try to find out, or we'll try to express this in terms of the exponential form. Okay, what you will do? So this is the technique we are going to do. So on the left hand side, you observe we have got the values of alpha and beta as like this. These are the values of alpha and beta. Okay, then you express this numerators in terms of tan theta. What you will do, we'll imagine one triangle here on the right hand side. You can observe. Let us take one right angled triangle having one angle as theta, and you will take opposite side of the angle is omega L minus 1 by omega C, and adjacent side is equal to the magnitude r. Then what is the value of tan theta? Tan theta is given by opposite by adjacent. So therefore, in this triangle, if you take one side of the triangle as omega L minus 1 by omega C, another side of the triangle, that is adjacent, is equal to R, then tan theta is given by opposite by adjacent. That is given by omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. Then what will be the hypotenuse of this triangle? According to Pythagoras theorem, if two sides are omega L minus 1 by omega C, that is one side, another side is equal to R, then according to Pythagoras theorem, square of the hypotenuse equal to square of sum of squares of the other two sides. Therefore, this hypotenuse is equal to square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. That is R square plus this term square. Square root is taken because according to Pythagoras theorem, it is a square plus b square equal to c square. Therefore, square root is appearing here. Therefore, hypotenuse of this triangle will become equal to this term, provided the two sides are having the magnitude omega L minus 1 by omega C and another side is equal to R. Then what will be the value of cos theta? Cos theta is given by adjacent by hypotenuse. So cos theta is given by adjacent by hypotenuse. Therefore, cos theta will be equal to R divided by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C square. That is adjacent by hypotenuse. What will be the value of sin theta? Sin theta will be equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite is omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C square. Therefore, you use this trigonometric configuration or representation to represent the above equation, that is alpha minus j beta can be represented in terms of cos theta and sin theta. What you will do? Therefore, this term 1 by j plus j into omega L minus 1 by omega C can be written as cos theta minus j sin theta. Okay. Why cos theta is taken here? Alpha is having the value R divided by R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. If you take one square root here, R divided by square root of this term is nothing but cos theta into square root of this term again remains. So that this will become cos theta divided by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. Minus j into sin theta. What is j here? Sorry, beta here. Beta is omega L minus 1 by omega C. So beta is represented as sin theta by square root of this particular term. Therefore, you can represent this as cos theta divided by square root of this term minus j sin theta divided by square root of this term. Okay. So finally, you can write cos theta minus j sin theta as e to the power j theta minus j theta. Okay. So cos theta minus I sin theta is given by e to the power minus I theta. So instead of I, we have got the complex number representation j here. So therefore, you will get finally the expression for this term will be equal to 1 by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square into e to the power minus j theta. Then what will be the expression for current? Expression for current is current will be equal to voltage by total resistance. And this 1 by total resistance is equal to this term. Therefore, I will be equal to V naught into e to the power j omega t divided by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square into e to the power minus j theta. Combine these two, combine this e to the power j omega t and e to the power minus j theta. What you will get? You will get e to the power j omega t minus j theta. So next step. So that will give you I equal to V naught by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square into e to the power j into omega t minus theta. And it represents that the current is having the phase omega t minus theta. What is the phase of the voltage at the beginning we have taken V equal to V naught into e to the power j omega t. What is the phase of the voltage? Phase of the voltage is omega t. Phase of the current, it is observed that it is omega t minus theta. Okay. So there is a definite phase difference. So what is this term is called? So, or I can write this I as I naught into e to the power j into omega t minus theta. What is I naught? This term is called as I naught. So here I naught is given by V naught by square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. And here I naught is called as peak current. V naught is called as peak voltage. And this denominator is called as Z, which is called as impedance of the circuit. And here this denominator Z is equal to square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. It is called as impedance of the series LCR circuit. So this is very important formula for solution of the problems. Problems will be asked on the impedance of the series resonance circuit and also to find the current through the series resonance circuit. Usually. That's why you have to finally represent current. This is the required equation. The final equation is I equal to I naught into e to the power j omega t minus theta, where I naught is given by V naught by Z. What is Z? Z is square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C the whole square. So this is called as impedance of the series LCR circuit. Further, Z is equal to V naught by I naught, which gives the magnitude of impedance of the circuit. Okay. So Z is given by peak voltage by peak current, V by I. It is nothing but the resistance offered by the circuit. And that is called as impedance. In AC circuit, the resistance is called as impedance. That's all. Okay. And finally, what is the expression for angle theta? We have taken that tan theta equal to omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. Therefore, theta, that is the phase angle, theta is given by tan inverse of omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. This completes the derivation. Up to this point, you have to do it. Okay. What is our aim? Our aim is to express current in terms of complex number representation. That is done successfully. This is the equation. I is equal to I naught into e to the power j omega t minus theta. That is how you can represent the current in complex number representation. Okay. So here you got the expression for current and expression for phase angle theta. Now we'll try to represent this in the phasor diagram. There are two possibilities. In the theta representation, omega L minus 1 by omega C is present in the numerator. So here omega L minus 1 by omega C, this may be positive or negative based on values of this omega L and 1 by omega C. Two possibilities are there. If omega L is greater than 1 by omega C, then definitely theta is going to be positive because omega L minus 1 by omega C is positive. Then theta is positive means the current lags behind the voltage by phase angle theta. Okay, because what is the phase of the current? It is omega t minus theta. If theta is positive, it is lagging behind the voltage by angle theta. If omega L is less than 1 by omega C, then theta is going to be negative. Then current will lead the voltage by angle theta. Okay, remember when inductive reactance is smaller compared to the capacitive reactance, then theta is going to be negative, then current leads the voltage by phase angle theta. How to represent them in the phasor diagram? So this is the phasor diagram. So just I will represent in detail. Suppose we take the case omega L greater than 1 by omega C, then theta is positive. How theta becomes positive? This diagram represents the complete picture. Now represent the voltage across the resistance, voltage across the inductance, voltage across the capacitance, like this. Why these are coming like this? Because if voltage across the resistance is along VR, the inductive reactance will lead the resistance by 90 degrees. That's why this voltage across the inductor appears forward by 90 degrees. ಇದು VR ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ VL ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಫೇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೀಡ್ ದ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ರೆಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. VL will appear here. What about VC? VC will lag behind the resistance by pi by 2. 90 degree ಹಿಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. Okay. And initially the phase of the voltage is omega t. Okay. So if you apply the voltage V, so that will be divided into VR, VL and VC. And here if VR is having the phase omega t, then VL will have the phase omega t plus pi by 2. VC will have the voltage omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, and that is how you can represent. So it is lagging behind the voltage across resistance by pi by 2 VC. Then this is the case, omega L is greater than 1 by omega C. What it means? Voltage across the inductor is greater than voltage across the capacitor. Therefore, this VL minus VC is greater. It is positive. Okay, since VL is in this direction, VC is exactly in the opposite direction. What will happen? The resultant of these two vectors is equal to VL minus VC, and VL minus VC is positive. The resultant of these two vectors is equal to VL minus VC. Next, you have to take resultant of this VR with VL minus VC. Okay, and this resultant will give you the V naught. You have to use the parallelogram law of vectors. You draw one parallel line to this VR here. You draw one parallel line to VL minus VC, magnitude of VL minus VC. You will get one parallelogram. Then diagonal of the parallelogram represents the resultant of these two vectors. Okay, so resultant of this VR and VL minus VC is equal to V naught. And what is the angle made by that V naught? It is theta. And we know that the current through the circuit is always in phase with the voltage across the resistance. Because in case of resistance, voltage and current are in phase. Therefore, the current through the circuit is always in phase with the voltage across the resistance. VR ಗೆ phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. But resultant voltage is leading the current by angle theta. Okay, so voltage is leading by the angle theta with respect to the current I naught here. So, other words, the current lag behind the voltage by phase angle theta. Voltage lead ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? Current is lagging. So current I naught is lagging behind the voltage by angle theta. That is how we can represent this in the phasor diagram. Let us take the second case. Is omega, if omega L is less than 1 by omega C, then it is observed that the current leads the voltage by angle theta. How it can be represented? So this is the case. Suppose the voltage across the resistance VR, VL and VC are represented like this. They are having the exact 90 degree phase difference. Then initial angle of a phase of VR is omega t. Omega t is the initial angle, phase angle. Then it is provided that omega L is less than 1 by omega C. Therefore, this voltage across the capacitor is greater compared to voltage across the inductor. So VC minus VL is positive. And resultant of this VL and VC will be VC minus VL. So that is represented along the direction of VC because VC is greater. Okay. So what is the resultant of this VR and VC minus VL? You draw parallelogram. Then diagonal of the parallelogram represents the resultant voltage. Okay. So here the voltage is lagging behind the current because current is in phase with VR. Voltage is lagging behind the current by angle theta. Current is leading, voltage is lagging. Okay, because of the fact that the voltage across the capacitor is always lagging behind the voltage across the resistor. So capacitor will dominate here. In this case, the inductor will dominate. That's why it will make the leading voltage because VL is greater. Here VC is greater. That's why it will dominate. It will make the voltage to lag behind the current because across the capacitor, the voltage is lagging behind the current by 90 degree. And here the inductor is dominating. Here the capacitor is dominating. So this is how you can represent the phase difference between voltage and current in series resonant circuit. And why it is called as a resonant circuit? So that case we will consider in the next class, where this omega L will be equal to 1 by omega C. That is the special case. Okay, two possibilities we have seen here. The last possibility is omega L equal to 1 by omega C, and that is called as the condition for resonance, and that we will consider in the next class.